So excited to be back with you guys again. I have just really been thinking a lot about this channel, and I love bringing y'all grocery hauls, and I think that y'all definitely love them. It's super fun to see what we buy, but I just want to continue to just dig deeper into what is health. Like, why do I do the things that I do? I've got a playlist that I have already started of just like my health journey and just like simple ways to get started, knowing your why, and just kind of like shifting from diet culture into like true health and nourishment. So definitely check that out and stick around if you're wanting to pursue a healthy lifestyle. I just feel like health and fitness and all of that in our culture becomes a synonym for being skinny or losing weight, and that is just not what I believe to be true, and it's taken me a lot of years to kind of overcome that, and I just love sharing that information of, you know, you can do certain things to get skinny or lose weight that is not actually like nourishing your body. It's not healthy for you. And so sure, weight loss can come, and shedding pounds and losing pant sizes, that definitely can happen from pursuing like true health, but for me, like, that is not like my number one goal, my number one focus. For me, it's just all about like real health and feeling good and giving my body the fuel that it needs to stay healthy, to live a long life, to feel energetic and active, and just all of that together. I also feel like our society is like so confusing. Like, if you watch, you know, like Dr. Oz, or you like flip through magazines while you're like standing in the grocery aisle, it's like so drastically different. Like, you're being screamed at from all sides, like eat keto and high in fat and blah blah blah. Then you have like eat paleo and do this and this, and be vegetarian, be a vegan, or, you know, carbs are terrible, eggs are bad for you, eggs are good for you. And it's like, what is it? Like, what do I do and where do I start? And it just gets so overwhelming and so confusing. So for me, the simplest thing, to just boil it all down, my number one goal and motto in life when it comes to like nutrition and food is simply eat real food. Just eat real food. And it is simple. Like, it sounds simple, but in actuality, like, it is definitely a process. If you are starting off with what I would consider like a processed foods kitchen, which is everything's already packaged, everything's already ready to go, you know, heat and eat, that sort of thing. If you're moving away from that and stepping into eating real food, it can definitely be like a shock of like, okay, I have rice, I have dry beans, I have fruits and vegetables, like, but what do I do with this, you know? And so that is one of my biggest passions, is to just show how you can take simple ingredients and make beautiful, delicious, nourishing foods. I think when you're thinking like, is this a real food? There's a couple ways to look at it. I used to really like hold tight to the slogan, like, if it can rot, then it's real food. Like, if it can go bad. And I do still think that's true, but there are definitely some like real food things like dry beans or dry rice or whatever that still have a very long extended shelf life, and I still think they're real food. So even more than that, another thing I thought of or heard was like, did it come from a seed or did it have a mom? That's a pretty good indication. Like, the ground beef at the grocery store, even the worst, like most, you know, conventionally raised beef, is still like a cow that was born from a mom. Like, it was real food. It's not some like mystery meat that's like smushed together, and you can tell like, this isn't real meat, I'm not really sure what's going on here. You know, an egg like obviously had a mother. Fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, all of those came from a seed. So I feel like that is a pretty good guideline as well. I also think to myself, like, could I make it myself? So there are some people that do like, they only buy one ingredient foods. For me, that's a little much for my season. I need some things that are like ready to go. But could I make sour cream from milk? Yes, I could figure out how to do that. So to that, now, not all, like, and I've got some like swap videos. There's some really simple like Daisy sour cream. It's just, you know, cream and cultures. But there's some on the market that do have a lot of additives and a lot of junk. So then another thing I do is I look at the ingredients and I say like, okay, could I make this at home with these ingredients? And if not, then it's probably pretty processed. Whereas, like there are some granola bars, for instance. One of my favorite ones, Autumn's Gold is what it's called. And it literally, like all the ingredients I have in my pantry. It's got coconut oil, it's got all these different nuts and seeds, it's got maple syrup, it's got some sea salt. If I had the time, if I wanted to, could I make this granola bar? Yes, then it's real food. Does it have high fructose corn syrup? Does it have natural flavors? Does it have all these preservatives you can't pronounce? Then it's not real food. You couldn't even make that at home. You don't even know where to get those chemically like man-made ingredients. So that's just another gauge. There's a lot of ways to look at it. A lot of people also like to say like shop the perimeter of the store. But again, like there's some really nourishing, nutrient-dense foods on the aisles. Anchovies and tuna and beans and rice and all these things, chia seeds, all of that is on the middle aisle. So even that, like I don't feel like there's one perfect way to look at it, but I think thinking it through all of those different ways can kind of give you a pretty clear understanding, like is the food I'm eating real food, or is it just like super highly processed food that didn't exist 100 years ago? That's another way of looking at it. Would my great-great-grandmother even recognize what in the world this is? If not, it just might not be real food. So as you pursue your lifestyle journey, you are gonna probably be surrounded by people that notice that you're eating a bit differently. And so you're probably gonna be, questioned here or there, like, oh my goodness, are you going on a diet? Or, oh, like, what is that? What are you eating? Why are you changing it up? And something new, I just heard this phrase and I absolutely love it. It says, yes, I'm learning to eat healthy. No, I am not on a diet. And so I just felt like that was like a super simple way to answer people, because number one, I love that it's like learning. I'm learning to eat healthy. It's a process and I'm still on that journey. I'm still finding new things I want to make in the kitchen from scratch versus buying them myself, because even like healthy food sometimes is still really highly processed and just it's not even real food, and it's like crazy expensive. So there are things that I'm learning for my own self of like, what can I do and what else, do I want to venture into, and, fermented vegetables and making my own yogurt and, making bone broth and baking my own sourdough bread and all those sorts of things. Like none of that happened overnight. It was a process. So yes, I am learning how to eat healthy. I'm learning how to nourish my body, but no, I'm not on a diet, because I'm in this for the long haul. I'm looking at this long term. What are changes I can do that are going to be sustainable, that I can keep doing over and over and over again. And as you do that, those habits build on each other. And over time, you're going to look back and be like, oh my goodness, look how far I've come. But it takes a lot of time, and that is okay. Like it has taken me, I guess, 9 years to get to where I am from when I really first started, when I first went to school to be a health coach. And even in that time, like I have shifted the way I fed my family. I've shifted just my mindset a lot, and it's just an ever learning journey, and I think it's great. So I just love that you're here. I love that you're saying like, I don't want to just do a fad diet. I don't want to do this short term. I don't just want to, make an overnight change for a quick weight loss to only go right back to my bad habits. Like I want to do this long term. Like stick around with me. Let's do this together. And let's get to our goals. Let's live a healthy lifestyle so we can just live as long as we can, as best as we can.